Hey guys, what's up? Combiners back again with another Transformers video review. This time we are going to be taking a look at Transformers Prime Beast Hunters Voyager Predaking. And let's just say at first I was kind of biased and was gonna get the ultimate class because he was bigger. Changed my mind. Here's Predaking in Dragon mode, and as you can see, he kind of barely fits in shot. Like, barely fits in shot. He's a pretty beefy Dragon mode. I mean, like, he's longer, but yeah. He was the only one in vehicle mode that I had, so what are you gonna do? But yeah. Now for the articulation of the Dragon mode, he's actually got quite a bit in terms of Dragon mode. He's got the two heads that are detachable, so those move from left to right. He's got the shoulder, the rotation here, bends at the elbow, the bicep swivel, the bend at the elbow, a ball joint within the paw. The paw is open and closed, but that's mostly for transformation. His back legs, however, kind of move back and forth, and then they bend at that knee, and they have the toe articulation. Just due to the fact that this is locked in, you really can't rotate his tail. And his head, believe it or not, actually has quite a bit of articulation, because you can bend it up, because you can flare those out and bend his head up like that, or straighten his head out to where it's more flush with his neck. So that's pretty cool. That, and his mouth opens up. At first, I had no idea that he could do that. But once I saw that in person, I was like, "Yep, I like this. I like this Dragon mode." And in general, the Dragon mode's awesome. I mean, just there's no lie there. Dragon mode's awesome. But what about robot mode? Let's get him into it, and we will see just how awesome he is in robot mode. But before we fully get into robot mode, I want to show you guys a little something with the blasters, because this is one of the coolest gimmicks I've ever seen on twin missile launchers. Now you can see these are basically the same weapon, only slightly remolded, only slightly different molds. You can peg these together. I mean, like, okay, before I peg them together, the way they launch is you grab this gray tab, and you pull it back until you hear the click, which in turn fires the missile, which it really shoots. But when you line it up, when you line these gears up and peg this thing together, moving one will move the other, and they fire at the same time. I have seen other missile launchers try to do this and epically fail. This is amazing how they got it to work. I mean, I'm not even going to lie to you guys. I'm damn impressed with how well this works. And that basically just helps to start the transformation, which technically you could leave those heads off and just leave him like this, and he looks fine. I just like him with the two other heads. And then you don't want to wiggle it, you want to just pull it straight out. And this basically starts the transformation. But he has this sword, which I'm kind of iffy on, because he can barely hold this thing. Let's say Levy. Let's get him into robot mode. And robot mode, the transformation, rather ingenious with the legs, but you're really basically not doing much with the chest. So basically with the legs is where you're going to start. You're going to start by splitting his ass out. by splitting his ass. That's basically what you're doing. And then you're going to rotate this so that this hollow part will face the back. Will face... Okay. When you fold this up, you want this to face the back. Okay, so once you do that, you're then going to take these legs, rotate the waist, kind of get everything out of the way so you can maneuver this. Now, showing it on the leg, you're going to straighten out the dragon leg, kind of fold that orange panel back like that, fold this in, and then peg it in and flip up his robot foot. And, you know, again, just do the same on the other side. Like, peg it in, and, you know, there, done deal. Now, the rest of the transformation into robot mode is actually pretty much a piece of cake. That is by far the most complicated part of the transformation, which you saw I did pretty easily. You close up the hands, straighten out his arms, open this chest cavity, rotate the dragon head, which I forgot to show. That is articulation for the dragon mode. I completely forgot to mention that. I'm sorry. All of this will fold in such a way, like, okay, flip up his head and then lock it in when you close the chest panel, because then you're allowed to fit the dragon head into his back. And this is what I was talking about with this piece. You want the spines facing down, because when you fold this up, it will go in over the actual spikes, which I can see why they molded the head with rubber plastic. This time it makes sense. With Dreadwing it didn't make sense. But yeah, there you go. And then you basically just kind of fold these spikes back, and there you go. There's robot mode. Now, how do I feel about robot mode? I wish the wings could have been done better, but all around, robot mode, in person, I really like the robot mode. Like, at first, when I saw pictures of him, I thought his head was a little doofy, because it kind of just looks as if he's wearing a flower. But once I saw it in person and saw how spiky it really was, yeah, I got over it. Now, of course, his weapons are the tip of his tail, his sword, and these. Now, these I have a little bit of a controversy with, because the best way to have him hold this is to plug it in right there. But that's mostly meant for when you have this split. It doesn't work well when you have it plugged on like that, because you basically just have a whole bunch of stuff hanging off of him. What I tried to do was I tried to open up his hands and kind of grip it in there, which I got it to work at first. Like, here, he's barely holding on to it, but the slightest tap, oh hey, it's actually staying. Okay, so make me look good. But yeah, at first I was having a lot of trouble trying to fit that into his hand, but as you can see, I got it to work no problem this time now. The best way to get him to hold the sword, because when you try to fit it in the normal way, yeah, to whereas when you plug it in on the other side, okay, let's try this again. When you plug it in on the other side, as you can see, That time it didn't even move. All it did was bend the wrist. And of course I messed that up. Let's hope I can get him to hold it. Haha! So yeah, there he is in his rather awesome robot mode. How does he stack up with other Voyagers though? Is the big question here. Well, first off, we have to take a look at Prid Voyagers because I do have Beast Hunter's Optimus. But we will get to him. I promise you this, we will get to him. First off, let's take a look at Thundertron, the only other beast former in this line. He is about as tall as Thundertron. If I called him Leo Prime, I'm sorry, because they do kind of look the same. In hopes that he doesn't completely crumble under the weight. Yeah, he's gonna crumble. But yeah, here's the Prid, which, as you can see, about the same height. Maybe this one's a little taller at best. I'll just place him over here. Here's Dreadwing. Again, about the same size. I don't intend to do any real Sharpie work with him because his gun desperately needed the Sharpie work. Whereas Predaking, I'm not really gonna touch with any Sharpies. Magnus, which I'm working on it. I'm working on his Zizzler. I am. But here you go, Prid Magnus. You can see a bit larger. Here he is with Megatron, which I should probably get him in a little closer. So yeah, you can see about the same size. Now I realize this is getting a little ridiculous, but my show, I do what I want. Bulkhead, which you can see he is a tad taller than Bulkhead. I would expect this to be this way. So yeah, he's out. One of my all-time favorite molds is the Breakdown mold. I'm going to use it as Breakdown. As you can see, definitely taller. Definitely taller. Infinitely taller. I guess the only other one I can really show him off with, if you have it, is the first edition Optimus Prime, which is slightly taller than him. And then, of course, the biggest of the actual Optimus Primes being the big boy himself, Beast Hunters. As you can see, again, much taller. Actually, he's actually wider too. Holy crap. I didn't really stand these guys next to each other at first, but now that I'm getting a look at it, damn, he is a lot bigger. Now, so far, size-wise, he's no slouch. But how is he doing in the realm of articulation if I don't knock everything over? He is pretty damn poseable. I am honestly quite shocked at how poseable he is. The wings are on 3 hinges. It's on this breakable hinge, this pin hinge, and this rotation hinge. So you can rotate them up, you can rotate them down, you can bend the wings however you wish. Like you could bring them down and fold them in like this if you wanted to kind of give them ass wings. But I don't know why you do that. Okay, you know what? I'll just plug that in here for review's sake. But yeah, I naturally just kind of try to make it a little bit natural. Kind of fold it up to here, and then bada bing, bada boom. He's got shoulders. His head can rotate. Bicep bend, bicep swivel. His arms are basically the same thing as for Dragon Mode. And then the wrist swivel, the hands open up. You get the picture. He gets the waist joint, which is pretty much superfluous because all of this junk is what holds the waist together. So you really can't access that waist joint unless you mistransform him, which is a bit of a shame. But he's got hips like that. They can go in, they can go out. He's got about a 90-degree bend at the elbow. So yeah, as you can see, pretty damn posable. I seriously thought that his robot was gonna suffer in the realm of transformation for the Dragon Mode. But no, he's actually no slouch. He's actually very posable. You could get him in some pretty damn menacing poses if you really tried. Now, the usual bit on this channel, would I recommend Beast Hunter's Predaking, the Voyager? If you want that whole daunting size of Predaking, like if you want him to be big and massive, this might not suit you. But if you're on a budget and you really can't afford to get the ultimate, this is no slouch. This, I can honestly say, is a good replacement. Because, like, he looks awesome next to the Voyager. He looks awesome next to Voyager Prime, is basically what I'm trying to say. So if he already looks awesome next to the Voyager Prime, then you're pretty much sold. Well, I'm sold. Matter of fact, just pulling him out of the box sold me. But because, well, once you have him in hand, you realize just how impressive he really is. I already knew that Drumming the Blues wasn't really all that big of a fan of, okay, I'm just gonna flat out say it, he's anti-Beast. He got this, and he loves it. So, heh sucker, I'm right, you're wrong. Okay, I'm done. Subscribe to Drumming the Blues, he's awesome. Currently stalling. Transformers Prime, Beast Hunter's Predaking. Get him if you see him, but if you want the ultimate, pass. Yeah. With all this said, this is BC saying stay nerdy and get your geek on. I will catch you guys next time.